Andrew.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself. So obviously my name's Courtney.
Hello, Courtney.
Hello. I am very into self-development and personal development, as you know.
Yes.
So the past 5 years have been pretty wild journey, I have to say. Getting into, discovering myself and going down the path of spirituality. Because really, spirituality is the healing journey, isn't it? They're actually pretty much the same. So
What happened 5 years ago?
what happened 5 years ago? So I would say that
And sorry, random question. Are you a Kiwi?
no, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm full Aussie.
Oh, because no, on the other side.
Which one?
That
one?
Yeah.
So, story about that, which we can get into now and we can get into that later. But when I was a kid, I used to love drawing leaves. I just had an obsession with drawing leaves.
Right.
So for me, I was like, well, obviously I'm going to get a tattoo. I want it to be meaningful. So I thought, why not get the leaf that I used to draw when I was about 6?
Oh.
So every time I look at it, it reminds me of my inner child. Reminds me of little me.
So you have inner child issues. Is that what happened 5 years ago?
We've healed some inner child wounds, but it's never ending.
It is never ending.
It's never ending.
Holy shit.
It's never ending.
It's like, how many goddamn times can my dad's friend send me stuff like, oh, this reminds me of your dad? And I'm like, fucking dad.
Yep. We know that the wounds will show up in different ways and in different relationships and at different times.
It's fucking so annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying, but it's also a chance to basically lean into it and get curious about, okay, what's this teaching me? What's this trying to show me?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
sorry, what happened 5 years ago?
We've gone on a tangent.
This is going to be a very random podcast.
So for me, I really struggled a lot with, I guess, self-confidence and just also, on the outside, very bubbly, very, chatty, and I would appear confident. But on the inside, I really struggled with, who am I? My sense of self. It was really, really challenging. And I had a lot of anxiety growing up. I would have panic attacks in the middle of the night. It was really, really, really stressful, you could say. And I just got to that stage where I was like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. It's not like I was, going out and numbing myself with, different things. But, I was very social. I did go out a lot. But,
It's okay to numb yourself.
Yeah, I know. But, hanging out with friends and stuff. Or actually, do you know what? I probably was numbing myself a lot with dating. I would go on dates, every single weekend.
Right.
It was... Sorry, these are falling off my head.
Maybe we need to, maybe we need to take them off. Maybe we need to make them smaller.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah, take them off.
Does that mean we need to start again?
No. I don't.
Because you can edit, can't you?
Nah, I don't edit anything.
You don't edit.
Fuck the editing.
So people are just gonna, all right.
Yeah.
Sweet, cool. Let's go.
This is just. Is that better?
Yeah, heaps better. Better.
Look, I'll edit specific things if we go down a topic that, afterwards you don't really want people to know about.
Okay.
But otherwise, I don't edit.
All right. Sweet. Kitty. So pretty much I was going out dating a lot.
So the self-confidence thing,
and it showed up a lot. It showed up in dating. It showed up in friendships.
What do you mean it showed up?
Good question. So basically, I would say that I was just so fearful. I was really fearful of intimacy, but I also didn't know what it meant at the time. So for me, I could say I was physical to some extent, but I did have a condition, which I'm fine to share, called vaginismus. I
have no idea what that is.
Physical. It's basically an involuntary contraction of the pelvic floor muscles.
Right.
So basically, I had a insane fear of sex.
Right.
I was I would go on dates, but I couldn't actually enjoy myself because I was like, is he going to make a move? What's going to happen here? I just felt very, very lost within myself. Didn't know what boundaries were. Didn't know, just didn't know how to assert myself or know what my needs were. I think that was the issue. And so, there was a lot of just you know, numbing and kind of trying to, you know, figure things out. But yeah, then I saw a pelvic floor physio and a sexologist, which actually, like, they helped me overcome the condition, because it's psychological, but it's also physical as well. So,
and do you feel like the psychological really kind of triggered the physical, or was it the opposite?
I would say that it triggered. So I would say that it was that you know, underlying fear of, you know, but it also began to show up as an abandonment fear as well. Yeah. Because I had a really close friend when I was younger. Since we were kids, you know, we probably, like, we did our deb together and everything. But obviously, like, you know, I was young. I was still very young, so I didn't know, you know, what boundaries were and stuff. So I basically, you know, when things changed in that friendship, it was like the first time that I actually felt abandoned, because I was like, okay, we would have sleepovers together, we would, you know, do all of this fun stuff together, and then it's like he was the first person to actually leave me. So then I feel like from there, I just was attracting the same types of people that made me feel the same way. And that was showing up, that was in friendships, that was in, you know, that was obviously in, you know, dating, intimate experiences. But I could never really, you know, truly allow myself to feel seen, or to actually, you know, I guess connect.
Let's be honest, the dating scene's fucked.
Totally.
There's so many issues with it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like, to have your first kind of like abandonment like experience, and then it just being replicated like in future interactions.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd say I had a lot of pretty toxic relationships growing up, and even with colleagues at work, you know, it just kept replaying. It just kept repeating, you know, that same pattern, until I actually decided, okay, I've got to realize that, you know, there's stuff that I've got to shift inside me. There's things that I've got to work on. I've got to actually be like, okay, who's Courtney? Like, who am I? You know, and then once I actually started, you know, I saw my first coach during COVID lockdown. It was the perfect time to I literally just, like, I saw the sexologist, I saw the pelvic floor physio, I saw the coach, and it was all, I was doing all of that, you know, in the 1 year. But it was the best year of my life.
Coach in terms of breath work?
No, like a self-love empowerment coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they exist?
They exist. They do exist.
Who are these people?
Well, actually, we actually had a connection. She actually worked at my work, and then she left, and then she got into coaching.
Oh, right.
And I was like, okay, let's explore this.
Right.
And then I just started, you know, learning so much more about myself. I learned about, you know, like astrology, like my star sign.
What star sign are you?
I'm Scorpio.
Oh.
Very deep, very vulnerable, very passionate, a little bit intense, but in a good way.
Stubborn.
Yeah, you know what? We are pretty stubborn.
Yeah, but
we are pretty
I
stubborn.
think what's the word? Committed.
Committed. Yeah.
Committed is the flip side of stubborn.
We are committed.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, because when there's an idea that we have or something that we really want to go for, we'll go for it. Even if people are like, not a good idea, don't do it. We're just like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm doing it. Like, that's just how we are.
Okay, so astrology. What else did you kind of?
I also dived into human design. I love human design. So human design and astrology, they're pretty much like interrelated. They're connected. Part science, part spiritual system. So human design, you know, takes into consideration your birth date, your month, your year. But basically with human design, it's basically like your energy blueprint, and everybody's got a different energy type. So we have our strategy. So our strategy is the way that we basically, you know, move through the world with more ease and, you know, flow and less resistance. Then we've got our authority, so the way that we make decisions. So for me, mine's sacral. So it's like I've got to get that. And I'm a generator. That's my energy type. So basically I've got to be physically feeling lit up by something. I've got to get that physical, like that excitement, which means, yes, this is a yes, go for it.
Yeah.
But the strategy is responding. So I'm always responding to different things. It could be something someone said. It could be food. It could be anything. It doesn't just have to be, you know, messages from the universe or whatever. It can just be responding in general. And basically in human design, we've got our not self. So that's how you feel when you're not living your design. And then you've got your, obviously, you know, your self when you are living your design. And for me, since, you know, getting into human design and understanding the way that it works and actually following my authority and my strategy, it actually allowed me to find more alignment in my life. Because if I think about it now, I was just very misaligned previously.
Yeah.
Misaligned, naive, young, you know, still
trying to understand
still
stuff.
trying to understand things.
Work out who Courtney is.
Exactly. And I really dived into just everything. Like just so many different things that allowed me to connect to myself, that allowed me to build self-confidence and actually allowed me to love who I am while still enjoying the process of becoming that next version of myself, which is something
it takes a lot of
continues.
courage, I think, and a lot of self-awareness to take those first couple of steps, you know, because it is scary. It's daunting to kind of go, well, I don't know who I am and what do I need to do to kind of like work that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think because of the type of age we're in right now, as in like the, you know, 2020s, there's a lot of information available and it's almost like there's too much information.
Yeah.
And so when there's too much information, like it's just saturated. And how do you then work out and navigate through who you are, what you want to be, what you want to do, who you want to be with, like all this type of stuff?
Yeah, I think that's a really great question. And it's like, and that's when it kind of comes back to, like you're saying, like the conditioning, you know, like you should do this, you should, you know, this, you know, basically people telling you what you should do or who you should be.
Yeah.
And you're right, there is a lot of
them.
I know, right? There's a lot of
you should just do what you want to do.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's where I was getting to. It's about actually being able to connect to your intuition and connect to your heart and be like, what feels true for me? What feels right for me? What lights me up? You know, what do I want to be doing? And you just basically just keep saying yes to yourself, because I'm a recovering people pleaser. I used to say yes to everything, the things that I didn't want, the friendships, the relationships, whatever, anything, until I actually started to, you know, follow my own inner guidance. And I think, yeah, like we get consumed by so many different things on social media, like the news. Not that I watch the news, but like
the news is just bullshit.
It's
anyway.
but what it's doing is it's trying to keep us inside a box.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what they say. It's like, if you want to break out of the matrix, you've got to realize how powerful you actually are.
Oh, do you take the red pill or the blue pill?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Do you remember the movie? Which pill do you take?
Vaguely.
I think it's the red one.
It's the red one? I don't know.
Because the blue one, you stay where you are.
Oh, okay. So it's the red one.
Yeah.
It's the red one. There we go. I have seen The Matrix, but yeah.
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. It's like basically taking that pill and being like, no, I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I want to do this.
It's so hard though, I find, because you go through life and you like learn all these things and you see everybody like fitting in or like doing really well, and who knows what is actually going on in their lives, but you see what they want you to see anyway. And then you like try to please your family and you like try to please your partner, or like you have kids and yada, 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 like all that type of stuff. And then, you know, I think people would have like a midlife crisis at any time in their life, really. You can have that.
Yeah.
And then shit just turns south and you have to like, you know, try to find out what makes you happy. And what your purpose is, and And if you do it enough, then you kind of go, oh, well, this actually does make me happy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue doing this regardless of all the noise.
Yep.
Or regardless of the lack of recognition or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends up being a lonely path.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can totally resonate with that.
Mm.
I can totally resonate with that. And that's why I feel when we are doing this work, when we are following, I'm going to say, you know, like your soul and not everybody else, you've got to find people that understand, people that can meet you as deep as you've met yourself. And then that's how you build connections. That's how you build community.
15 minutes in.
15 minutes
talking
in.
about deepness. How
I'm
deep can we
a
go?
Scorpio.
I don't know.
It's just going to happen naturally.
How do you find people
We're a bit
as
croaky
deep as
there.
you?
How do you find them?
Yeah.
You basically, well, I think what you do is you get clear on your values, and then you basically just you follow what brings you joy.
But Courtney, I'm an introvert and I don't like socializing with
kitty.
people. Fucking Larry. Bro, you just get more cats. Cats are the answer for everything.
There you go. So cats are healing. Cats have healing. Cats
Ah.
have, healing energy.
I'm so healed.
Hi, kitty. See? I'm so healed. But I think it's finding things that, that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, I don't know, movies, TV shows, Lego, photography, and then I think that's how you find your people. But the best way to find your people is, and this is the way that I've been able to do it, is just by being yourself, like being authentic and speaking your mind and just saying what you want to say and not caring or worrying about what other people think.
And coming on a podcast.
And
talking about it.
Something that I never thought I would do, but here I am.
Here you are, Courtney.
And it's awesome. It's awesome. I love it. Oh.
No, I think you're right. Like this concept or this topic of being authentic. Like, oh my God, these fucking cats. What does that actually mean to an individual, Like, and I think the only way that I can really define it, or if I was to try to explain it to someone, is kind of like where your outside world and your inside world are like mirrored.
I like
They're
that.
exactly the same.
I like that.
And that's how you know you're being really authentic.
Yes.
Like, are you being yourself around other people all of the time, or are you wearing a mask?
Yeah.
And I get that you have to wear a mask sometimes.
Yep.
Like, say, in a corporate environment, or if you're trying to, like, build a relationship with a new client, you have to wear a mask of some sort.
Yep.
You can't let your whole personality out. Fuck, if I did that every single time, I probably wouldn't be here. I'd probably be in jail. Inappropriate. HR. And I think that, like, having that technique or that approach comes with experience through, like, trial and error,
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yep.
Sorry. The approach of having to wear masks at the appropriate time, but then acknowledging that you don't have to wear a mask all of the time, and that's how you can truly, like, measure whether or not.
Featuring the cats.
Don't get cats. Don't get cats. They are just fucking. Larry.
Larry's about to eat the incense.
God, no, he better not. Fuck, I just lost my train.
The masks. Talking about the wearing
mask
masks,
and, like,
needing to wear masks.
and not having to wear it all the time, because then that's how you can measure how truly authentic you are, with, like, people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I can totally resonate with that, because I would say there are still, places that I would wear a mask to some degree. I mean, I on the outside, I do breathwork. I've, recently just completed a course in Reiki, which is something that I want to apply to, being a breathwork facilitator. And for me, right now I'm focusing on building up my clientele and networking and meeting people, but I work in insurance. And so, I mean, I'm not going to, I guess, I am myself, but obviously, yes, there's still KPIs, there's still, people that are above you, people in positions of authority. So yeah, there would be parts that I have to, I guess, conceal a little bit, but I try and be myself, most of the time.
Yeah.
So I think, coming back to wearing masks, I think there are certain, and I guess it's also maintaining professionalism as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There's that balance of, okay, be yourself and but also maintain that professionalism too, because you are in a team.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I can understand how difficult it could be in trying to maintain authenticity in like a world full of like social media and like edited photos, and you don't really know what's real, and then like fake news and like all this type of stuff. There's a lot of fakeness. It's like, and then you have like two people on a podcast talking about trying to be authentic, and people listening to this might be like, well, I think I'm authentic. I don't know. Like, how do you know? And it, oh my God.
Cats again.
It's this forever journey of just trying to like keep yourself in check, I think.
And I mean, that's the thing, like we are human. So like we're not perfect. We're going to stuff up.
What?
Like it's inevitable.
What do you mean?
We're going to stuff up. It's inevitable. It's a part of life.
Is the stuff up part of the plan though?
I'm pretty sure it's part of the process.
It's part of the plan.
It's part of the plan. It's
You
part of the
have to
plan.
stuff up.
You have to stuff up. How else are you going to learn if you don't stuff up?
Courtney.
But I think with the authenticity, it's like, for me, what's coming through for me is it's how you feel. It's how you feel within yourself, and it's also how do you make others feel. Because I think that, where everybody's a mirror. You're mirroring to me, I'm mirroring to you. That, and could be conscious, unconscious, but I think it really just comes down to how do you feel within yourself, and how do you feel about other people, and what's the relationship that you have with yourself. Because the relationship that you have with yourself is a reflection of the relationship that, you have with others.
Are you trying to make me cry?
No, I'm not.
It's not working. It's a lot of inner work, it sounds like. You just need to do the inner work.
You
And the inner work is never ending.
It's never ending. It's never ending, but
because the older you get, more things pop up.
More shit will pop up. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, totally.
I am going to cry.
It's never ending, but it's about being able to, have that gratitude and find joy in, the small moments and the simple pleasures. Like, I think it really comes down to mindset. Even if you're going through shit, it's like being able to hold space for yourself. Okay, I feel sad. Okay, I feel angry. And it's not looking for other people to validate you or other people to make you feel better, but it's being able to actually hold that space for yourself and be like, what do I need right now? Do I need to cry? Do I need to have a nap? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I want to meditate? Do I want to journal? Do I want to just sit in silence and place my hand on my heart? And I think when you can find safety in solitude, you can find safety in your own company and within your body, you start to create a safe space within. And even when shit comes up, like, it doesn't mean you're going to be fucking love and light all the time. That is just not how life is.
What do you mean? I'm fucking love and light all the time.
Like, we're
there
human.
has to be some darkness, because
there
can't be light. You can't have light without the dark.
That's exactly
it's
right.
It's a balance.
It's yin and yang. It's a balance. Andrew, it's a balance.
It is.
It is, but that's the thing. Like it's and when you go through the pain, when you go through the darkness, you see life differently. You see other people differently. You see yourself differently, and then you become the light, and then you help others, find their light as well.
You're really trying to make me cry. I've only cried twice on the podcast.
Yeah.
In 83 episodes.
Hey, if you want to cry, I'm all here for it.
Nah, I'm not going to cry.
Oh, okay. Guys, it's not going to cry. All right. Not deep enough.
No, it's deep. I get it. And they're not failures, they're lessons.
Yeah.
And the universe only threw you these lessons because you needed to learn them in order to level up to the next stage.
100%.
Of like what you're trying to achieve or what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what happened though 5 years ago where you were like, I need to do something about this?
Yeah. Yeah, good question. I think I was just sick of feeling sad. I was sick of feeling disconnected from myself. I was sick of not knowing.
But did something happen? Were you like at a family barbecue or something and like someone said something?
No.
Or it was just like an over a period of time?
It was like over a period of time thing. And I think it was like, because you think, if someone's like, oh, you've started doing all of this work or you've started this journey, but what actually happened? What was that like breaking point? And for me, it was internal. It was, I was just like, fuck, like I don't want to feel like this anymore. I just felt like I couldn't speak up. I just felt like, as I mentioned, I was people pleasing. And I was like, I think I just got to the point where I was like, I've just had enough of feeling this way. And I've had enough of just feeling numb, and I just want to learn who I am. And then that's when I just went on the whole self-discovery journey. And then from there, I just met people that were guiding me on my path, and I, formed really deep connections with people, and even people that would just come in for like a chapter, but they've still given me something, because whatever I've learnt from them,
fucking chapter,
I still apply in my life now.
Goddamn chapters. Seasons.
Yeah, seasons, chapters, turning a book. Endings leading to new beginnings.
Oh my God. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do. I've got 3 sisters. For a
She
second,
had
I
to
was
think
like,
about that.
holy shit, I've got 3 sisters and 1 brother.
Where are you in the hierarchy of 5?
I'm the baby.
You're the last.
I'm the baby.
Oh, that just explains everything.
But
you were like trying to find out who the fuck you were because your siblings just like roasted you all the time.
yeah, I mean, I did, I kind of copped a bit of shit from them.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
How old's the oldest one?
Oldest one.
What's the age difference?
So age difference is about 5-6 years. So my oldest is like 35.
Okay, so six years. Okay, so
Yeah.
but 5 kids in 6 years. Holy shit! What were your parents doing?
Well, I mean, she's had like three partners.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all the kids are from different.
Yes. So this is where it can get confusing. Sometimes I explain to people they're like, "Can you explain it again?" I'm like, "I fucking told you 5 times. How many more times do I need to tell you?" But pretty much, half. So half sisters. So
right.
same mum,
Yeah.
but different dad.
Yeah.
But then with one sister, same dad, different mum. Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Same dad, different mum.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that reaction.
Yeah. Just had to like, what? How does that? Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I have that same issue when I try to explain to people like where I grew up, because I didn't grow up in Australia.
Where'd you grow up?
Southeast Asia.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're Asian, so
I was born in Singapore on holiday. We lived in Indonesia, Brunei, and then we did live in Singapore.
very cool.
And my dad worked in the oil industry, and so we moved around quite a bit.
Nice.
I never had one set group of friends. Like, was always saying goodbye and hello and
Yeah. Okay.
all of that.
Yeah.
And look, at the time, I didn't at the time I was, look, I'm grateful for the experience, and there would have been times where I was grateful for it, but like at the same time, living through that whole third culture kid experience isn't great. I'm thankful for it now because it's given me the skills and capability to talk to anybody.
Yeah, which is awesome.
And I do talk to everybody. Like I'll talk to anybody on the street. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And then we moved to Perth.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Where it's nice and you got all the beaches and it's hot and
Yeah, but I didn't have a great
sunny.
experience in Perth either.
Oh.
And so I've been here since 2001.
Okay. A long time.
Yeah.
That's a really long time.
Yeah, it's the longest time I've ever been in the one spot.
Do you feel like moving around a lot though allowed you to adjust to change like quite quickly, or it wasn't as, I guess, scary or confronting because you were used to it from like really young?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And like it's almost a toxic trait. So I think it's a toxic trait because if things stay the same for too long, I get bored. We got to move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We need progress.
That makes sense.
Which is where the whole personal development thing comes into play.
Yeah.
And like in 12 years of photography, I've been able to get to where I am today.
Which is amazing.
And starting this podcast like a year ago.
Nice.
Yeah. December
Nice.
15th was episode 1.
That's awesome.
But I just like push myself. Like no one else is pushing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got that drive. You've got that self-discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's interesting the family dynamic that you have and being the youngest and then 5 years ago just deciding that you don't want to feel like this anymore. And so you embarked on finding stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess if I elaborate on that, you know, I did have issues with my siblings. You know, when I was younger, I did feel like they're bossing me around. Like I feel like they're very overprotective, and it was. I think I also didn't want to keep feeling like I couldn't make my own choices and my own decisions. And but you know, it that's how I felt back then. But since, you know, doing the work and actually understanding where they were coming from, it allowed me to see it from a different place, because I had to do a lot of self-forgiveness, but I had to do a lot of forgiveness on them as well, because when I actually started, you know, you could say healing and discovering me and you know, stepping away from them, there was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of Courtney's changed, Courtney's different, Courtney's doing this, Courtney's doing that, and there was a lot of blame, and that was hard. Like that was really, there was a time where that was like, that broke me. I didn't show it, but it did. And I wasn't, you know, I didn't talk to my sisters for a couple of months. Mum and I didn't really have the best relationship for a while, but when I was able to do that forgiveness, I was able to actually mend my relationship with them. And I'm not saying I'm not close to my family. I wouldn't say that I'm close, but you know, I do have a relationship with them again.
Fuck them. Don't forgive them. Keep that.
No. Hey,
I was lost for words then.
They'll be like, "Oh, Courtney, you're on a podcast. What were you talking about?" And I'll be like, "Oh, yeah."
No, there's a trend going on right now. We listen and we don't judge.
That's true.
Don't judge people.
But you know what? When we're judging others, we're actually just judging ourselves.
Fuck. Stop it with this reflection talk. You're really trying to make me cry on my podcast.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
No, I know.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
I know. I don't have any tissues.
Just use the cat. Just wipe the cat over
yeah. And then like ignite my hay fever.
Oh shit, yeah. Hay fever's not a vibe.
Yeah.
Not a vibe.
I used to be allergic to them, but not anymore.
That's good.
Yeah.
It would suck being allergic to cats.
I think the amount of kisses I get on the lips recently is just like, bro, you got to stop kissing me. Like they're all boys.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Yep.
I think they're all gay.
Oh, they might be.
Yeah.
Look out.
Although, there's the alpha hierarchy.
Or that's just how they show their love and their appreciation for
that's
you.
true.
You
They just use me for food.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, cats are assholes, but they still love you even though they're assholes.
They are. One of them's only ever sat on my lap twice in the 7 years I've had him. Voluntarily. Twice, Courtney.
Twice.
Do you know how much torment that is?
Twice. Why is that? Do you know why?
Because he's skittish. He hasn't even popped his head out yet because he knows there's someone new in the house. He's like, I can't go out there now. No.
Cats are interesting, but that's what I love about them. They're so mysterious.
I know.
They're like dogs. Dogs are cute, but there's just something about cats.
They're just. I feel like they have. Like it's a different personality, and it's a different personality that's less dependent on, others because they can look after themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then it's through that looking after themselves that you kind of go, oh, that's what your personality is like, or like like the youngest one, he still chases his tail.
That's so cute.
And he fumbles over his own feet.
Aww.
And he falls off stuff. And I'm like, do I need to get you some glasses or something? Because what the fuck's going on? Are you not a cat? Aren't you supposed to land on your 4 feet and he lands on his back?
He doesn't know how to cat then, obviously. Poor thing.
No, it's very cute.
Cats are cute.
He's still alive.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's.
He ain't going anywhere.
I do love cats. They're so cute. They're so cuddly.
So how did you get into breathwork?
How did I get into breathwork? Yeah. So in 2021,
COVID.
Yeah. Well, I think it was actually the second.
We're still fucking talking about it.
I know, right? The second lockdown. I met.
Very specific.
Yeah.
Second
lockdown. I know, right? I met 2 of my mentors, who they're very, very close friends of mine now. And I did their program. It was like a 12-month program. And that was really deep stuff. Ended up seeing a shaman after that, which was, we'll get into that. I tend to jump.
Did you do ayahuasca?
Oh God, no. Not that kind of shaman.
God damn it.
Not that kind of shaman.
I just got excited.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
All right.
And he's one of my mentors, he's a breathwork facilitator. So within the program that I did with them, there was lots of group breathwork that we did.
But you did it online?
No, so in person. We did it in person.
In second lockdown?
These events. Yeah, we did. Or maybe was it the second lockdown? Wait, no, it must have been when we got out of lockdown. My bad. Yeah, okay. Whoops. So much has happened.
In between lockdowns.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
In between lockdowns. So we did a lot of group events and stuff, and as part of our calls.
Was it the 1.5 meter or the 2 meter radius? That was such a crock of shit. And the fucking masks, bro. The masks aren't doing nothing.
Oh, the masks were doing nothing. But yeah, I then obviously was doing their events and stuff, and I actually experienced transformational breath work for the first time, and I was like, whoa, this is powerful stuff.
What do you mean transformational? Like what's?
Yeah, so I mean with transformational breath work, basically what we're doing is we're tapping into the subconscious mind. So what's happening is we're using a particular breath that allows us to basically get into the subconscious mind. So it's like everything that we're unconsciously holding on to or that we're not even aware of will come up to the surface. So that's why you see people screaming, shaking, crying, yelling, because basically what's happening is the breath is allowing them to feel safe to let all of that shit go. But then with that breath work, what happens is you can go into altered states of consciousness. Like I've gone on bloody visual wild journeys in a breathwork session because we are going into altered states of consciousness, but then that's also where, healing trauma, that's where it happens. And it's not just in that experience that you have, it's the integration afterwards where you start making different changes, or you start, you start tapping into emotions that you perhaps have not allowed yourself to feel.
Isn't the visual experience out of breath work almost a DMT type style?
What's
experience?
DMT?
Uh-oh. Isn't DMT like the psychoactive element in mushrooms?
DMT? I've not heard of DMT.
Oh. Because I heard that our body makes DMT when we die.
Yep.
And when we're born, I think.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And so you can generate that DMT production through deep breath work.
That makes sense.
And it's that psychedelic
Yeah.
type.
Yeah, because when you're doing breath work, you can actually feel feel high, because technically you're getting high on the breath, but it's in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Because think about we take
I hope
so
I got
many
that right.
breaths. I think you did.
It sounded right. Fuck, I'm good.
We take so many breaths a day, but when you're actually,
Fucking plant.
when you're actually consciously breathing, it's different. But yeah, you actually do get high on breath work, but it's obviously it's healthy because it's the breath. Breath, people say
It's just the breath.
in the esoteric terms, people say breath is spirit. Breath is our spirit, which, because you've got the physical component of your breath, you've got the emotional, you've got the psychological, and then you've got the esoteric. And breathwork's been around for years, but it's just that people are, connecting to breathwork more now and using it as a.
I think breathwork's been around for
modality.
millions of years, because without breath, we wouldn't be alive.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Bro.
That's true. That's true. But it's amazing what we can uncover about ourselves through conscious breath work. It's really.
I know there's a certain breath technique that you can use if you have an anxiety attack or a panic attack. You can actually, by physically and consciously doing a breath rhythm, bring that all down. So, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Because it's all if you think about it's, the nervous system. So when we're dysregulated or when the breath is not regulated, then, obviously we are going to feel anxiety, but obviously anxiety is normal. I have had anxiety since I was a kid. But
Thank you, siblings.
But the way that
Shout out to you, siblings.
the way that I used to perceive anxiety is that it's a part of me. I'm just an anxious person. I'm a sensitive person. I'm too emotional. But actually, it's not having that label. It's just being actually, it's just a part of me. It's a part of my experience, but it's not actually who I am. So
That's a different mindset to take, though. And it's very difficult, I think, for someone to acknowledge that it's a part of me, it's not me. How do you move through that phase of you've had it your whole life and you, I guess, identify as someone that's anxious to no, it's just part of my experience. It's just part of who I am because I'm not anxious all of the time. And don't get me wrong, like I get anxious. I still get anxious.
Yeah.
When I'm like talking to CEOs or like talking to people that I highly, highly, highly respect, you know, because they've done such amazing things or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
And like I get nervous. I'm like start mumbling, you know.
That's normal. I do that too.
Shouldn't be normal, but it is.
But I think it's basically letting go of that label, you know. And I think it's just about choosing a different story for yourself, which is what I did. And I mean, look, I didn't believe it straight away. I had to actually embody that new belief. I had to embody the fact that, hey, I'm not too sensitive. I just feel things very deeply, and that's not a bad thing because that actually allows me to experience the fullness of life rather than, you know, just living a mediocre life where I'm feeling things half-assed or doing things half-assed.
Do you think before you did the work, you like guarded yourself?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was I would put walls up. To protect myself because I was afraid of getting hurt. I was afraid of, you know, abandonment. I was just anxious like all the time. And it was impacting on like my health and my well-being and just my sense of self. And then once I started actually doing the work on myself, it's just like I saw life differently. I just had this new appreciation for life. And, you know, then I started to, you know, from there, it's like I started to attract good things into my life and good people. Because
like Artful Yoga.
Yeah, exactly. Like Artful Yoga. Totally.
Shout out to Neha.
Yes. Love you, Neha.
We will get into that, how you came across that.
Yes.
But yeah. I think it's all of these things that you've been talking about are just elements of like the foundations that need to be put into place to then be able to get to the position that you're in today.
Yeah.
Yes, every single person who starts on a journey of self-discovery or trying to change their life, they will have an element of self-doubt always. I mean,
Absolutely.
I still have self-doubt today, right?
Yeah.
But it's even the percentage of self-doubt versus confidence is so much higher when you're first starting out. But then as you do the work, as you see the little benefits, as you see the wins, you know, and they keep coming and cementing and all of that, then the self-doubt disappears and the confidence grows.
Totally.
Know? And then you can like be a beacon for like other people, you know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And, you know, obviously the doubt is normal. Again, that's part of being human. I still doubt myself, you know, absolutely.
How do you combat self-doubt?
How do I combat self-doubt? I think basically it's just about, I think, leaning into it. Like if I think about self-doubt as being, you know, kind of like getting uncomfortable, you know, like it's just leaning into that discomfort and it's basically just it's learning. I think it's learning and then it's practicing. And even if you are doubting yourself, just still do it and keep doing it and do it over and over and over again until you get to the point where you're like, oh, okay, this is getting easier, or I'm starting to believe in myself a little bit more, or even if it's just 1% or 2%, it's still progress. And I think it you know comes back to that phrase about practice makes perfect. Actually, practice makes progress. Really,
practice does make
practice makes progress.
Because only perfect practice makes perfect. Because you can practice something incorrectly, and it's not perfect.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, I think it's so for me the way that I combat self-doubt is I try not to care so much.
I like that.
which is really hard because I care a lot.
Yep.
And I'm constantly thinking about all the different things that I'm caring about.
Mm.
And like, I don't want to like, I guess, fuck things up
Mm-hmm.
because there ain't no plan B. Like, this is it. And so, people talk about, oh, I have a contingency plan or like blah, 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 all of that. And I'm like, nah, like, what is the point in having a contingency plan on the way that your life is going to go if you're not 110% committed to it? Like, if you're 110% committed to it, then that's the thing that you're doing.
Yep.
Like, there shouldn't be a plan B.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I actually like that
Which
outlook.
I guess is where they're like trying not to care so much about like the outcome because the outcome will just sort itself out anyway.
Yep.
Yeah,
totally. Totally. And I think it's about even though it's hard, I think it's about just having that trust that it's like unfolding the way that it's meant to unfold for you.
I care so much.
But you care so much because it's important to you.
Yeah, I know. I know. And look, I've been through that many transformations. It's ridiculous. So I know that things will always work out.
Yeah.
And my mates over in Perth, they're always like, there's this one mate, he goes, you're the only person I know that whenever shit happens to them, you come out even stronger.
Yeah, but see, that's what it's about.
I'm like, yeah,
I'm like screaming.
Because there ain't no plan B. Like, you have to come out stronger.
Yeah.
Because then you didn't learn anything.
Exactly. But then by coming out stronger, by experiencing that, then you've actually been able to tap into or just gain new wisdom that you then bring with you forward. So I think like the shit that we go through, it's always for a reason, and it's always getting us to the next level.
Stop trying to make me cry. Bro, she's trying to make me cry.
Sorry guys, it's the Scorpio in me.
No.
It's the HSP, the highly sensitive.
Oh, the HSP.
Maybe you're a highly sensitive person.
I'm a fucking... I already know that I'm a highly sensitive person.
All right.
So, if you watched all my previous podcasts, I've explained this a number of times, but anyway, I'll explain it again. So I was highly emotional when I was a kid. Like, I would cry at everything. Mainly my dad screaming at me, but anyway, that's a separate topic. But only 14 years ago, I think I worked out why I was so highly emotional when I was younger. Because I worked out that I could see people's auras and people's energies.
Yeah.
And then I started to tap into what that meant and how I could use it in my corporate life, and then it flipped over to my photography work.
Yep.
And that's basically how I get the good photos through my photography work.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
so like clairvoyant.
Not so much clairvoyant, like I can actually see someone's aura.
Whoa.
Like in person. I can see it on a photo as well, but it's a lot more powerful in person. And it's it can either be like a rainbow of colors, or can be like one or two colors, but then I can see shapes as well. Like, I can tell whether or not you've been having a good day or not having a good day.
Wow.
And then my task or my role as a photographer is to help, this is going to come across the wrong way, manipulate, change that aura within yourself to then be able to get the right type of expression or, image or vibe for what we're trying to achieve.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's kind of weird, but like, I really started to like level in and lean into it like 3 years ago, and it was just like amazing.
That's so cool.
Because it was like, oh. And then when I started getting feedback from like people that follow me, they were like, you really know how to shoot Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no idea what that means, but okay. And they're like, you know, like the Girl Next Door vibe, you know, like American Pie and, you know,
I love
like
American Pie.
the hot girl that lived next door that you were always trying to, you know.
Yep.
I was like, oh, right, okay, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, like, because that is actually kind of my approach, my whole style. Like, I'm trying to capture those in the moments that you wouldn't normally, like, see.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's really cool. So you can, like, you bring that gift into your business.
It is a gift.
It's totally a gift.
It's a gift.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And so when photographers contact me and they're like, oh, how do you like take the photos that you take? And I'm like, I'll give you everything that I know, but you'll never be able to take photos like me.
Exactly.
Because you're not me.
Exactly. They won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know, in the way that you do it, because everybody does things differently. Like it's like your essence. It's the way that Andrew takes photos. Billy next door can't take a photo like you because he doesn't have that gift.
I don't even know who Billy is. I don't even know the names.
I just made that up.
That person there.
Be really funny if their name was Billy though.
There's an old person that lives there. I did see the girlfriend this morning.
Oh, yep.
Yep. We just like nod. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a code of silence. Code of silence in person, but there's a Facebook group. Private estate. There's some funny shit on the Facebook group.
That is so funny.
It's so funny. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I won't go into it, but it is funny.
That's so cool.
So do you have a special skill?
I would say like coming back to the whole, you know, highly being like, you know, highly sensitive. You know, for me, I would say that I'm like an empath and I can, you know, I feel things very deeply.
Yeah.
Feel, you know, others' emotions very, very deeply. And, you know, when I was a kid, I did used to see, you know, spirits and even now.
You see dead people. She sees dead people.
I don't see them now, but I do.
Were you shitting your pants like when you first saw them?
Nah. I literally there was one night where I sat on my sister's bed and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just talking to the guy on the end of your bed. And she was like, fuck, like I gotta get out of here. Like she was shitting herself. But for me, it was normal. Like it was completely normal. But I remember when my dad's grandparents had passed away.
Yeah.
I was only like 4 years old. And I'm pretty sure it was either the next night or maybe that week. And I still remember it so vividly. They actually came to visit me and they were like floating and they were talking to me, but their lips weren't moving. And my grandma had cucumbers on her eyes and my grandpa had pennies.
The fuck?
Yeah.
She was having a facial? You look a little bit like the little kid out of The Sixth Sense.
Oh my God.
I see dead people.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
She was having a facial. And what was your grandfather doing?
He was just, I don't know.
Counting his pennies.
Maybe. I don't know.
Penny,
He used to put socks on his ears. Actually, it was a weird thing he used to do. I don't know what it was, but I loved my grandpa. I didn't know him for long. Like I was obviously like I was 4 and they passed away not long after. But in saying that, growing up, and especially when I'm going through something, if I'm going through like a really deep transformation or I'm struggling with something, I always feel that like I'll feel their presence around me.
That's so
and
cool.
I feel it really, really strongly.
Yeah.
And that's like my mum's sister, she passed away. I can feel her around me. Sometimes comes with messages. Sometimes they come with messages. If I'm, you know, doing Reiki, I feel like that's when they come through. But it can sometimes be when I'm just at home washing the dishes, sitting on the bed. I'm not going to say I'm not clairvoyant, but I'm clairsentient. And that's when you can feel. You can feel, you walk into a room and you're like, the energy's off in here. You know, like you said before, you know if someone's having a bit of a bad day, or you know, because you can feel it. That's clairsentient. But I do have a very strong inner vision. Like I can visualize light around my aura. I can visualize, but then that's human design. So we have one of our strongest senses in human design, and mine is inner vision. But it's cool because I can use that in like meditation, or I can use that in breathwork.
Can you see me?
No, that's what I mean. Like I'm not clairvoyant, but if I like close my eyes, I can visualize colors. But I can't actually, I can't see your aura right now. But I feel like there's like some blue and some pink and some yellow.
Yep.
I feel, and a little bit of white.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could
lots of colours in
be
there.
making that up. I don't know.
Something weird happened to me this morning, actually, as I was preparing my podcast studio, my house, for your attendance.
Thank you.
The vacuum cleaner just turned itself on.
Oh, shit. Wasn't the cat, was it?
It definitely was not the cat.
Okay.
And shout out to Eli. So this is the Miller, like cordless vacuum cleaner that you have to press a button. It's a slider button, like from 0 to 3, and 3 is maximum.
Oh.
And I could have swore, because obviously it was turned off.
Yeah.
It was turned off.
Yeah. Yeah, it was turned off.
And it was just sitting, it was just like standing there in the kitchen, right?
Wow.
And then it turned itself on, and it was on number 3.
Okay. So, I mean, do you believe in spirit guides? Do you believe in ancestors? Like, they could be communicating something.
Yeah, so we've just hit 1 hour. Yep. This is going to be a long one. I'll try to condense it down. So my best mate, who I met in Perth.
Yeah.
I moved here for him.
Yep.
I was his number 1 Asian fever. But
I had an Asian phase, don't worry. I didn't mean it that way.
I can't.
I actually didn't. Wow, I actually mean it that way.
I think you did mean it that way. That was through your dating life. Anyway.
Let's go back to you.
Yeah, back to me. So he was the reason I moved here. And anyway, he was my best man when I got married. And then he was there when I got divorced, and, you know, like all that type of stuff. And then 2.5 years ago, he got married. And on his wedding day, he made me his best man.
I love that.
But he did it in such a way that he's like, he calls me up in the morning. He's like, hey, can you get to the venue 15 minutes before everybody else? I'm like, yeah, sure. He goes, I said, is everything okay? He's like, yeah. He's like, we've just got a corsage for you. And I'm like, okay. I get off the phone and I'm like, shit, maybe I should put a suit on. But like, she's Japanese.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, maybe it's some sort of like weird Japanese thing. Like everybody gets a corsage, whatnot. Anyway, I wore a blue suit and rock up to the venue. And the first thing he says to me is, glad you got the memo. Because he was wearing a blue suit as well.
That is so cool.
And then they put a corsage on me, and I'm like looking around. There's only 2 other corsages, and they're 2 girlfriends, right? And I'm like, you fucking motherfucker! You made me a best man on the day. I'm thinking because you obviously didn't want me to write a speech, right? So. Greatest day I've seen him so happy, right? 2 weeks later, he goes to bed on the second week of his honeymoon, and he never wakes up. He passed away.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. And since that day, he's been around me.
Yeah.
6 months after that day, we were at his parents' house in Bendigo, and they'd seen a spiritual healer in Queensland, and that person had given them a deck of cards with one single word on there.
Yeah.
And basically said, take one card every day, and that's the word that Christian's telling you to live by for that day.
Yeah.
So we go to his parents' house, and his mum brings out this deck of cards, and it goes around the table, and his sister gets like love, and his aunt gets like kindness. My other good mate gets prosperity, and his mum says, we've seen all these cards before. These are like regular messages.
Yeah.
And then it gets to me, and I pull out a card, and his mum says, we've never seen that card before.
Oh.
Surrender.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
So do you feel like that's been like a theme that's been playing out for you? Like since
Yeah.
then? Like learning
I got that card on my fridge.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's huge. That's massive.
It's huge, yeah?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and like, so that year, the next 6 months, he did send me quite a few messages, and he opened up quite a few doors for me.
Yeah.
And then last year, I don't think he was very happy, so he kind of sent me more messages, and this year's been a year of I guess a bit of a hiatus for me.
Yeah.
But I'm back on that path, and I'm back on that kind of purpose.
Yeah.
And I think the vacuum cleaner this morning might have been him.
Was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying,
yeah,
good luck. You got it now.
That's amazing.
And 2025 is already looking like it's going to be a fantastic year.
Yep. Yep. That's really special.
It's kind of freaky.
It's freaky. It's a little bit freaky, but it's also like he's got your back and he's looking out for you.
Yeah, because so after we went to his parents' house, I think it was probably like 3 weeks later or maybe 2 weeks later, I speak to his dad, right?
Mm.
And like I was pretty much like from the day it happened, I was pretty much crying every day. Like every day.
It's a lot of grief. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to keep the tears down. And I remember speaking to his dad, and his dad said that they'd gone and seen a medium.
Mm.
And his dad's quite Buddhist.
Yeah.
And at first he said that he was like, oh, yeah, we went and saw a medium. I was a bit like, what's the word?
Like skeptical?
Yeah, skeptical and, bit dubious of, the whole process. But like his mum and his sister had to go in separately and like all this type of stuff. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'd never met the medium before. And he goes in and he says that, yeah, she like spoke about a few things and the next thing you know, really started to say things that only he would know.
Mm.
And his dad's never seen this person before.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like the stories of when him and his dad used to go on like weekends away down to the Great Ocean Road, right?
Yep.
And he said that this medium brought up the story of this one time when they went down and like Christian. They went to dinner at the pub, like him and his dad, and there was a redhead waitress at the pub.
Yeah.
That Christian just like walked straight up to, and his dad was like in awe.
Yep.
And then when he came back, they just connected and spoke about like just having that Nichols way of talking to women type thing.
Yep.
And that's something that only Christian and him would know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, like Jim, like this actually sounds like it was kind of legit, right?
Yeah.
And then he said to me that he definitely believed that it was Christian like talking to him through the medium. And specifically then said things like, don't worry about me, like I'm having a good time, I'm sitting here with my Jameson, like stop crying about me and all this type of stuff, right?
Yep.
And when his dad told me that, I was like bawling. I was fucking driving and bawling at the same time. But then when I got off the phone, I was like, fuck you. Bro, how dare you say stop crying? We're going to cry as much as we want, but you know what? I ain't going to cry anymore. You bastard. And, you know, I think when you hear those types of messages from close, like extremely close people, like you kind of like, yeah, like why am I doing this? Like why am I crying? Like yeah, I'll cry every now and then, but like yeah, and then from that point on, he was like doing stuff for me. He was like sending me messages and like all this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I still think he's there.
Yep.
He's there just to keep me on track.
Totally.
Like just keep on that path.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
So that's the story of Christian and surrender, and he's forever going to be there.
Yep.
Bastard.
Yeah. Do you believe that? Because obviously you're quite a spiritual person. Do you believe that was, I guess, well, obviously it did happen, but that was his time? Like that was. Do you feel like he was meant to go then because he was meant to guide you, and that was his, I guess, his
I don't know.
Purpose, you could say?
I'm like, so he had a cardiac arrest in his sleep.
Oh, okay.
And then the autopsy report came back and he had myocarditis, which is from the vaccine.
Oh.
But he had four shots, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and he just started his dream job working as the venue manager at Chin Chin.
Oh, wow.
They'd been chasing him for 4 years.
Yeah.
He just got married.
It's tricky, isn't it, when it's like, oh, was it their time? But then it's like,
yeah.
Or was there other things like
the selfish part of me goes, no, it wasn't his time because I wanted more time with him.
Yeah, of course.
And I wanted more time to see him do the things that he wanted to do. You know?
Yeah.
But like,
yeah,
you can't fucking change it.
That's true.
So like, bro, what am I doing? Crying here.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess that's that whole like, yeah, I'm a deep person. I connect deeply with people.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you don't like that, just piss off.
I also connect deeply with people, so you're speaking my language, don't worry.
Yeah. Like if you can't see past this.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
That's not on me. That's
exactly.
on you.
Exactly.
And like I had long hair down to here. Like at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is like yeah, okay, I kind of played on it a little bit because, but I was not like that.
Mm.
Like, I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a deep person.
Yeah.
I form deep connections with individuals, and those connections will last a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So the fact that I looked the way that I looked was like purely from a branding and from a purposeful point of view to get those photos.
Yeah.
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 But yeah. Anyway, back to you. Reiki. Why did you decide to take up Reiki or learn about Reiki?
So, I mean, again, it just comes down to, the things that I resonate with. And, obviously, Reiki is spiritual energy. That is what it is. Because obviously we are, we're, as you said before, we're not just physical, everything is energy.
Everything is energy.
Everything is energy, and that's
even conversation is energy.
Yes, exactly. Even eyes speak.
What do you mean eyes?
But our aura speaks before we do.
I know.
As well. As in, like, eyes can communicate is more what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just said it in a really weird way.
Yeah, eyes are energy.
Yeah, I said it in a really weird way. But yeah, I'm very, I believe in everything being frequency, energy, and vibration. And, basically with manifestation and attracting, obviously you're going to be attracting depending on, your frequency. And, the vibration that you are in. And, obviously I love breathwork. I love yoga. I love just, anything spiritual. But if it's obviously, helping me, but also it kind of, this, comes back to, I think I was mentioning it to you the other day, but about like your dharma. So your dharma, another word for like your purpose. And for me, I feel like, my dharma is to heal, but then also to help others heal as well. And an archetype of our dharma, one of them is being the nurturer. And I feel like I am very, very nurturing towards others. And it's just something that's just, natural to me. So I, want to be able to use Reiki to heal myself, but then also to heal others as well. And it's really beautiful because when you're doing Reiki, you're connecting to spirit, you're connecting to source, you're connecting to ancestors, loved ones. It's you're connecting to the spiritual realm.
Do you find that when you will spend time healing someone else, you end up taking on like their energy? You absorb their energy?
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
So it's a great question. And a lot of people have, asked this question. In the course I recently did, a lot of people were asking that, like, oh, would we take on their energy? But basically what's happening is that it's not your energy that you're giving them Reiki. So that Reiki is basically, you're like a channel. So that Reiki is flowing through you and into them in whatever way that they need. And that's why the downloads come through for people. Like when I was on the bed having a Reiki session, I was seeing things, I was feeling things. I had, my loved ones were, my auntie was on the right side, my grandma was on the left side. Like I could feel them. They were there.
With the cucumbers on her eyes.
Actually, they weren't this time. They weren't this time.
She'd finished her facial.
But then when I was giving Reiki to one of the other girls, I was seeing things for her as well. Like I was seeing colours and images and messages and things were coming through, but that wasn't me. That was the Reiki. So I mean, yeah, look, some people may be skeptical of it. My partner, I'm getting him there, but he's he's a little bit.
What's his name?
Angus. You've met him.
Shout out to Angus. Keep that skepticism going, buddy. No, don't be skeptical. Just believe in your partner. Believe in the Reiki.
Believe in the but yeah, it's really powerful.
Have you
just
done
like
Have you done a
breathwork.
Reiki on him?
Not yet. However,
Bro, get onto it.
it will be happening. It will be happening.
I think it's important,
Yeah, it is. It is.
but all in good time.
Exactly.
I understand, Angus.
Exactly.
You don't want to be the guinea pig. You want to be the number one case study.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, Angus and I, we've
His
I'd
body is a
say
temple.
His body is a temple.
No anonymous Reiki bullshit from you on him, okay? He wants prime rib beef. I don't even know why I said that. 100%.
He does love steak.
Oh,
We both love Squire's Loft.
Oh.
We go there far too often, probably
you?
more than we should,
Oh.
but it's so good. It's so good.
Can I ask, how do you have your steak?
Medium rare. With either the mushroom sauce or the creamy garlic.
Nice.
So good.
It's either meat. It depends on how rare the medium rare is. Because, there's varying levels of medium rare.
Yes.
I feel like I'm more the rare type.
Yeah, okay.
I like a little bit of blood.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I like the blood, but I like when it's like it's pink. I like when it's pink.
Yeah, no, that's too cooked for me.
That's too cooked for you.
Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah,
red.
okay. It's got to be. At least you're not having it. What do they call it? Blue vein.
I have had blue vein.
Yeah.
I did try it once.
What does it taste like?
Look, it's just meat.
Yeah. Okay. Is it just like cold? Like, does it taste cold or is it still?
No.
Is it still warm?
Yeah, it's still warm.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
warm. It's just not.
Okay.
It's just not cooked through.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like, so it's literally still like breathing. Bum 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 bum.
It's mooing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not mooing. Shit, we got on to do a tangent.
Yes, we have.
Reiki. Okay, so it's not about taking on people's energies. It's about having the Reiki through, like flow through them.
Yeah,
Ah.
exactly.
So that's real interesting. Like, you embarked on this like personal development journey to then get to a point now where you're like, hey, I really like what my purpose is to heal people. But in doing that, you're healing yourself. And it's this self-perpetuating like journey that you're going through.
Yeah.
How did you get onto Artful Yoga and Niha?
Yeah. So I actually joined a dance studio, Kika Studios in Airport West.
Ah.
Shout out to Kika. And I was doing dancing for a little while there.
What type of dancing?
Like seduction, heels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or like pole?
Not pole.
Not
pole. No, not pole. Like, we're obviously
This is new?
like in a dance studio.
Gotcha.
And we're learning, you're learning the moves in that class. So you might do the beginner class, you might do the intermediate class. And I love dancing. Singing and dancing, I love.
Right.
I love, I will just sing
Were you...
by myself and dance. I'd just in my lounge room, it's...
Angus, I know now why you don't want any Reiki sessions if she's at home singing to herself.
He
when you come home.
also enjoys singing.
Does he?
Yes, he does. He used to do acting and
Michael
singing.
Bublé? Does he sing Michael Bublé?
Not Bublé.
No, we're coming up.
Not Bublé.
Christmas is coming up.
Yeah, but not
Not the Bublé?
Not the Bublé.
You don't like the Bublé?
Not really.
What about the Bublé? No?
What?
So you've always enjoyed singing and dancing.
I've always enjoyed singing and
Were you
dancing.
singing and dancing when you were younger?
When I was younger, so...
Well, that's also childhood trauma.
What? Wait, what?
Did your parents force you into doing that, or you wanted to do it?
Singing and dancing?
Yeah.
No, I wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Saved by the bell.
Yeah, Saved by the Bell. Ding. Yeah.
Actually, let's just give your parents a call. Find out.
Yeah, no, I wanted to. My auntie was actually a professional singer. So she was in Baba. So obviously you had ABBA.
Oh, shit.
She was in Baba.
The fucking storybook with the elephants.
Yeah. So I was doing singing with her for a while. And then I was doing a little bit of acting, but I can't really remember the acting. I was a bit young, but the singing I remember I was, I think there was like a bar somewhere in Collingwood or something, and I was like 5 years old, and I was on the stage and I was singing. I was singing Babyface. You know that song? You've got the cutest little baby face. No, that's all. That's literally all I remember. But yeah,
Some bar in Collingwood probably has your photo up.
It might.
There's like this 5-year-old kid on the bar.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
What were your parents thinking?
I don't know.
Like leasing you out to your auntie to take her to the fucking bar in Collingwood?
I don't know.
That's so funny.
But I growing up, like I've loved singing. Like I feel like singing is such a beautiful form of self-expression, and so is dancing.
Because it's that energy release. It's, it's this inner frequency of like and creativity through our voice.
Exactly. It's the creative side of it, and also like feeling joy as well. Like I feel so joyful when I'm singing and dancing. No,
not if you're singing a sad song.
Oh, that's a really good point. That's a good point. But if I'm singing a sad song, it's that I'm like connecting to the lyrics and I'm releasing the sadness through singing.
Connecting with the people that are watching you and seeing if they're crying. Because if they're crying, you're crying. If you're crying, they're crying. Maybe. Okay, so you went to a seduction dance studio.
Yes, a seduction dance studio.
In Airport West.
And I met Alana, she's a hairdresser. Beautiful girl, Alana. Shout out to you.
This story sounds like it's a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
I don't know. It's PG rated.
I went to a dance. I went to a dance studio and met a hairdresser. Did she do your hair?
No, but we became friends. We became friends through the studio.
Sorry, I'm making an absolute joke out of this whole story, but it's actually quite interesting how like you can have experiences that then can lead to connecting with individuals in all walks of life.
Exactly.
I'll tell you a story, but you finish your story.
Cool.
So you met Alana.
Yeah, I met Alana, and she was saying, "Oh, I know this woman, and she's running an event." And she told me a little bit about it, and that Paula. So then she sent me the Celebrating Us event page, and I was like, and also I, like a couple of months ago was when I was really getting into networking and meeting people, and I was like, oh. I was like, yes, this, and
fuck yeah.
I was like, yes, and I got really excited. I got that, that physical feeling in my gut. I was like, this is a fuck yes. Like, I've got to do this. So, and then I went to the event and obviously met Paula, met Neha, met a couple of the other girls, and I walked away and I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is the shit. This is how I want to be spending my weekends. Like, I love this. And that's how I came across Artful Yoga, and then I went to obviously the creatives event, and that's how you and I connected.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like when you're doing things that like you want to be doing, that's how you make those connections, and then that leads on to 100%. Like something else, and
100%.
And coming back to like the Reiki, so I go to a studio. I'm a member at a yoga studio called At One Studio. Shout out Sass and Marcus, I love you guys. But yeah, so basically that's community, and it's not just the classes. Like they run events every month, and I've made really, really great friends there. And the Reiki practitioner, I've also become really great friends with her. And so, that was like my invitation to be like, hey, let's do Reiki.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's how it happens. And like with you and I, with the podcast, I was like, let's do a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it.
100%. I just love sitting down, talking to people.
It's great. And as you mentioned, that's how how you connect. That's how you form those connections.
And it's also how you learn things through other people's experiences.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to someone, was it yesterday? It might have been the day before. And hang on, what day is it today? Tuesday?
Monday.
Is it Monday?
It's Monday.
Fuck.
It's all right.
It was Friday. It was Friday at the Artful Yoga 3rd birthday celebration.
Yes.
was talking to someone there during one of the breaks of the artists, and I'd seen him in the crowd, like while the artists were playing, and then I got up to get a drink, and he was there, and then he just started talking to me about my podcast, and I was like, and anyway, he'd listened to a few episodes, and he listened to the Neha episode and stuff, and it came to me that through this process, I've been able to connect with 83 people now.
That's amazing.
And learn about their life experiences.
Yeah.
Now, how do you, and intimately, you know, like in depth.
Yeah.
How do you do that in a day-to-day, like, activity or exercise, you know? You kind of don't get to do that.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're like,
yeah,
without any distractions.
Yeah.
And cats, and like the cats have disappeared now, thank God. But I got onto Artful Yoga because I reached out to Paula to get onto the podcast.
Yeah.
I'd never met her before.
Yeah.
I'd seen some of her work and I wanted to get her on. It took us a bit of while to get her on, and then she was like, "Oh, you should get Neha on." And then I got Neha on.
Yep.
And actually Neha was the second sorry, I've cried 3 times now on the podcast, but Neha was the second one that I'd cried on.
Mm-hmm.
And then she like after the podcast we were like talking about the gallery and all of this, and how she's like trying to she's submitted all the paperwork to turn into a non-for-profit. And I said, well, that's fantastic. Like if you're looking for people to join your non-for-profit, I'll join as a volunteer.
Yep.
And I'll do my corporate work pro bono,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll be like a non-executive board member or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, hell yeah, well, let's do that. So then I've been going to the events, and what's interesting is this whole piece around connecting with like-minded people.
Yeah.
You know, and how important it is.
Yeah.
And how it can then lead to other like great experiences.
Totally.
You know.
Yeah.
Like one of the guys that spoke on Friday, he said on the 15th he's doing a cacao ceremony.
They are so good.
I'm fucking going to go to it.
Yes.
I'm going to sign up
Yes.
to go, because this guy, he was like, it's just amazing. I can't remember his name, but like he, just the way that he spoke and the things that he'd done, and he's bringing these cacao like pods from somewhere.
You're going to love it.
And I'm just like, I need that.
Yeah.
I need that in my life.
Yeah. Cacao is amazing because it's plant medicine.
Yeah.
And it can take a little while to get used to. When I first started taking cacao, my body was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
But eventually you get used to it. But you might have a completely different experience. You might have and be like, this is awesome. I love this. But yeah, it's just cacao is just another way of connecting to yourself. It opens up your heart as well. So if your heart chakra is closed, cacao's going to open it right up. So that's going to be, I'm excited for you. That's going to be a really beautiful experience.
And so the other story that I was going to say was, so this morning I sent a gift to someone in Canada who I've never met before, but we've been talking online, and I was at the post office.
Yeah.
So you go to the post office, like I prepared the box and everything, and then the guy behind the counter is like, oh, you need to fill out this declaration form because it's going international. Fuck. So I go back to the counter, fill out this form, do it online. And then I go back to the counter, and there's this dude that's already gotten there, and he's got like 17 parcels, right?
Whoa.
that they're slowly getting through. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I thought this was going to be like a quick trip. I was at the post office for like 20 minutes. Anyway, I started talking to the guy, and because I was like, is this a clothing brand?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's a clothing brand. And I'm like, oh, do you run this clothing brand? He's like, no, I don't. I just run the distribution. I'm like, what? The distribution? He's like, yeah. Like, I'm the middle guy in between the brand and the shops. And I'm like, wow, that is so interesting. I'm like, how many brands have you got? He's like, oh, we only work with 2. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is wild. I said to him, have you ever been on a podcast?
Yeah.
I need to get you on the podcast and
Yeah.
we'll talk about this.
That's so cool.
But like, just by having these experiences and sharing them, you know, but being able to like identify like other unique individuals and then talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, it just blows my mind.
I know.
It blows my mind how you could not be open to receiving what the universe gives you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Totally. And some people don't allow themselves to receive. You know?
Because they've got their head so far up their ass.
They don't know how to. They don't know how to receive. That was me in the past. But once I actually allowed myself to receive, that's when I was just attracting and manifesting, and it was happening easily, like effortlessly. I was meeting people effortlessly.
Yeah.
Things were like, things just started happening for me and not to me. Well, obviously I changed my mindset about it, and this, you know, this goes into being in your feminine energy as well. If we're thinking about masculine and feminine energy.
You know, I want to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being in your feminine energy, tell me about it.
Yeah. So
what do you mean, Courtney?
So with being in your, well, obviously we've all got masculine and feminine.
Nah.
Like regardless of
I'm a bloke.
regardless of gender.
Oh shit. You hit me with that one. Okay.
Oh shit, I might get some backlash from that too.
That's all right. You
My
can
bad.
identify as anything.
My bad. Yes, that's true.
I think that's the definition of gender now, isn't it?
Well,
if
yeah,
you
it
identify
is.
as anything.
Yeah, actually, yes, exactly. Yes, that's true. That's true. And I do have some friends that are
Yeah.
that are like that, and they're awesome. They're awesome.
You can do whatever you want.
Exactly. You be you. You do.
I just have an issue with anybody that tries to push their opinions on others. Be it anything.
Yeah.
Like, don't push.
Yeah.
Let me make up my own mind.
Yeah.
And if I've made up my mind,
Yeah.
leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I
like,
do.
if I think something's an orange, you ain't going to tell me it's an apple.
Yeah.
Because that thing's an orange.
Yep. Yeah.
That's... Look, I'm not religious either, but that's how I feel about religion.
Yeah.
Like, don't push it on people.
Yeah.
Let them come to their own devices and their own decisions on what they believe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
There were Mormons walking around here the other day. I was like, drive! Get out of here.
Yep.
Actually, sorry. No, I walked past. Did I walk past them? Yeah, I think I walked past them. I was like, don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, there are people that do push their opinions on, and they want other people to believe what they believe.
We've gone too far with like trying to prove what's right and what's wrong. Like, yeah, if you believe in something, like, okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I'll let you be.
Yep.
If you believe 1 + 1 is 3, I'll let you be.
Yeah.
You just do that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
If
I
it,
agree.
If it gives you some sort of joy in life, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't try to convince me.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Totally. Totally.
Sorry, my little rant. Sorry. Have I ranted like that before on the podcast? I'm not sure. Anyway, feminine energy.
Yep. Feminine energy. So
The divine feminine.
the divine feminine. Yeah. So I mean, I've always been, I would say, I've always connected more to my feminine than my masculine. But I think I was, before I actually knew what feminine energy was, I it's kind of like, okay, yeah, like I'm feminine.
You're a nurturer.
Well, yeah.
And a healer.
And that's very, that is very feminine. And the feminine is, the feminine allows themselves, to receive and is nurturing. And it's also about, connecting to your intuition.
Yeah.
And allowing yourself to feel, very, very deeply. That's the feminine. The feminine is like, it's like water just flowing, like it's being in flow. But then there's also the chaos in the feminine as well. But it's like allowing yourself to, like, the feminine is,
It's the emotion.
Exactly. It's the emotion. It's the feeling things
uncertainty.
Deeply. It's the uncertainty, but it's also the trust. It's the surrender. It's all of that is the feminine, and the feminine is about being, not doing. The masculine is doing. The feminine is being. But then, when you're in your feminine energy, you are connecting more to your intuition. And then you've also got, this is also kind of getting, I guess, sort of a little bit deeper. But when you're in your feminine energy, it's also about, like, it's connecting to your body. So it's embodiment, but things like connecting to your womb, like your womb space, that's very feminine. And it's connecting.
I don't have a womb.
Like the
There's
feminine.
no womb here.
Like, it could be. You never know.
I definitely know that there's no womb here.
But yeah, the feminine, and it's when you're like, when you're dancing as well, like expressing, that's also very feminine. But the feminine, obviously feels things deeply, but energetically as well. It's like you feel like you're more connected to, like I mentioned, like your womb space, even down there. It's like it's the energy is really, really.
I think.
Activated, I guess you could say.
So I agree. I also think that regardless of your gender, you can have divine feminine energy and you can have divine masculine energy.
Yes.
At different times of the day, of the week, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Because maybe you need to channel that type of energy for whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
There is this term about toxic masculinity and how it doesn't exist. And it doesn't exist because it was a term that was created during a study in a prison.
Yep.
On men.
Yep.
And that term was in a report that then got out. And then it became this whole toxic masculinity thing.
Yeah.
This clip that I saw where it explained all of this psychologist was basically saying there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. You're either feminine, you're either masculine, or you're toxic.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because you can have toxic femininity as well.
Yeah.
Which technically just means that you're toxic.
Yeah.
You're toxic.
Yeah.
So this whole thing about toxic masculinity doesn't exist. It was a term that was created based on a use case in a study in a prison, a male prison.
Yeah.
Like, of course there's going to be masculinity issues in a male prison.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, of
Because
course.
there ain't no feminine energy in there.
No.
You know?
No.
Just a lot of ass cracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So,
Totally.
yeah.
And that's the thing, like with the masculine and feminine, you can have like, obviously there's wounded masculine
Yeah.
and there's wounded feminine. And that shows up in, relationships. The divine masculine, the divine feminine, that's, I think that's kind of like the, like sacred sexuality, like obviously the masculine provides and the feminine receives. But a man that's in his healthy masculine is a man that, understands his wounding and understands his triggers and doesn't project. So I think when it comes to the feminine and the masculine, the healthy feminine, allows herself to receive, and she's not projecting. She's not blaming, oh, he said this, he did this, or I feel this way because of him. It's like, no, take accountability for your own shit. Like that's
the A word. Accountability.
Boom. But that's healthy feminine and healthy masculine, and we need to have a balance of both to have that yin and yang, because if we're too much in our feminine, it's not good, and if we're too much in our masculine, it's not good.
Yeah.
And
that's where it can get toxic.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly right. And I feel like for me, like, yes, even though I do connect more to my feminine energy and feel like I'm in that more, I still know how to tap into my masculine. Even grounding, doing a grounding practice, that's actually being in your masculine energy.
How do you do a grounding practice?
Like grounding in meditation, or just like, connecting to your breath and your body. That's, that's masculine, but it can also be feminine, because the feminine is embodiment.
Yeah.
So they can intertwine. They can interlap, absolutely. But I find the masculine and feminine so interesting. But when it turns in, when people see it as the toxic masculine and the toxic femininity, I think, well, that's because they're not seeing it from what it really is.
Well, I think maybe that's also their misunderstanding of what it is. The misunderstanding of the definition, or their experiences, or I think experiences play a big part in how you interpret things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is hard sometimes for people to like reset
and
go back to, okay, well, hang on, what happened there? Like, was that right, or was that this or that or whatever? You know?
Yeah, and I think that comes down to self-awareness. Do you have the self-awareness? Because if you don't have self-awareness, nothing's going to change. Without self-awareness, things are going to stay the same. So
exactly.
Self-awareness is, and I say to, I've said to a lot of people, even when I've, was doing a bit of coaching in the past, I would say self-awareness is always the first step. If you're aware that you've got things that you want to change, that's the first step. That's the door.
If you're aware you've got issues, fucking fix them before you go squirting other people. Spraying. Wait, why did I say that word? Spraying other people.
Spraying.
Fucking hell.
It's okay. I knew what you meant.
You know what I mean?
When you said, I just thought of a water bomb or a water pistol.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Like, if you got fucking issues, go fucking seek some help. Or don't ask me for help. Like, go fucking.
But yeah. And I have this conversation with Angus. I say, like,
it is hard though. It's hard because then you're like,
yeah.
Oh, I really like Courtney. I like want to see her again, but like I've got this like childhood trauma. Angus, don't worry, I don't like Courtney. I got this childhood. I'm reenacting you, bro. Don't worry. I got these childhood trauma issues, and like I get really nervous around girls that I like. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You were going to say something about Angus.
No, but yeah, it's about having that self-awareness.
Self-awareness is so important.
But then not having the victim mentality. Like not being like, I'm this way because my mum said this when I was young. I'm this way because of this. It's like, okay, then change it. Change it so that you're comfortable. or you're taking the steps to be who you want to be, or to get to that step that you want to get to, so you're not, staying in that victim mentality.
Let me just try to practically explain what you just said.
Yeah.
I think if someone says, "Oh, I'm like this because my mum said that to me when I was 5,"
Yeah.
or like, "My dad beat me up my whole childhood, and
Yeah.
like that's why I have abandonment issues."
Yeah.
It's acknowledging that,
Acknowledging. Yeah.
and 2, going, that doesn't define me.
Exactly.
It doesn't define me,
Yes.
but it is what I experienced.
Yes.
And as a result of what I experienced, these are the things that trigger me.
Yes.
And I know that when certain words get said or certain things get said, I get these types of emotions. And then I'm going to do things to counteract those type of emotions.
Yes.
And like,
Yes.
Have a plan in place so that you're consciously aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
And, fucking go see Courtney for a Reiki session because she'll sort you out.
I love the way you explained it. I was very blunt.
Yeah.
I was just like,
You
boom.
were so blunt.
Yep.
I was like, she's fucking beating me with a stick.
But yes, that's exactly what it is. It's and again, it's another word is just it's reparenting as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's in a child.
Not this grandfathering bullshit. Reparent me.
But that's
I only had 2 parents. I'm sorry.
That's what we're meant to have, 2 parents.
Yeah, they did an okay job, I suppose. I came out all right.
Came out all right.
I think.
I was a mistake, but I was a great mistake.
You need to talk to my brother. He was a mistake as well. You can form a mistake club.
A mistake club. That's funny.
Where you get to cook lots of ribeyes.
Amazing.
Mistake. Steak.
Oh,
See?
yeah. Nice. That went over my head
You
until you
did.
explained it again.
It did.
That happens quite a bit
I
for
could
me.
see those words going through your eyeballs right out to the back of your head and then come back again. I was like,
Pretty much.
I am too quick.
But yeah, like it's just about having that accountability. And even if you do, say you do get, because we're always going to get triggered. If you've said something that you regret, or you think, oh shit, maybe that was a bit harsh, or I shouldn't have said it that way. But it's then having that accountability,
Fuck 'em.
like
Fuck
rather than
'em.
being like, oh,
If they are going to be so emotional about the things that you said, they're not your people.
I more mean like if I've yelled at Angus and I'm like, oh shit.
Don't do that.
Well, it's happened sometimes if he pisses me off.
He's the fucking name of a steak.
Yeah, he's the name of a mistake. But then I'll
Is that why you're with
I'll
him?
apologize.
Because he's got a good steak.
I'm with him for so many more reasons than that
He
Andrew.
fucking cooks a good steak, I mean. What did I just say? Bro. Sorry, bro.
So many more reasons than that.
Yeah, I bet. How long you been with him?
We've been together for 3 years now.
He's a good man.
He is a good man.
Yeah.
He is a good man.
He's allowing you to be in your divine feminine.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Yes, he
He's a
is.
good man.
He is. And he's taught me a lot about
He's a man's
myself
man.
as well. He's taught me a lot about myself. Like first relationship.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, first relationship. Yep. So believe me when I say I've been
Don't break her heart, Angus.
I've been triggered more than I thought was even possible being triggered when you're single.
You've been triggered into the relationship.
No, it's in a lot of shit has come up for me that I've needed to work through is what I mean. But yeah,
that's a good thing.
he's a good egg. It is a good thing. It is a good thing.
How did you meet?
We actually met on Bumble, which it's funny, right? Because I feel like we didn't meet on Bumble. Like it's like,
You met on Bumble,
You
but
know.
you didn't meet on Bumble.
yeah, like it feels like we just met in person. Like,
So- But you did meet in person.
Well, yeah, as in like I feel like we
I did
didn't
meet him. He does exist. Shit. Unless that was some other Angus. No.
What
I met the one Angus, right?
Yes, you met. Yeah. You met my partner.
Yeah. Sweet.
You met Angus. Yeah.
I'm
But
just pulling your leg.
I know you are. I know. But yeah, as in like I feel like we didn't meet on a dating app because it's just, just feels like a natural connection.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really freaking great question.
I know. We ask all the great questions.
Wow.
Only an hour and 54 minutes in, and I've got a great question already.
I love it. I mean, so many different people inspire me.
That's such a generic answer.
But it's true. Like I did karate last year. I was doing karate.
Really?
And my karate instructor, he inspired me.
Hang on. Did you just start karate or you've been doing karate for a while?
So 2008 or 2011, I can't remember what year it was. I was doing taekwondo.
Okay.
I got to a black belt in taekwondo.
Bullshit.
Yeah, breaking wood was the best part.
Fucking hell.
Breaking wood was sick. I loved breaking wood. It was so much fun.
You're a black belt in taekwondo.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah, I was also coaching for a little bit as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome.
The fucking shit that I find out on this couch. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then after watching... Oh, sorry. No, you go.
Why did you stop?
Because I just feel like I got to black belt. It was an achievement. You know, I was younger. It just didn't feel like...
You're still younger. I was younger.
Hey, I'm 30 now. I mean, I'm still young. I'm still young.
Shut up.
30's just the beginning. But
yeah.
Forgot what I was saying.
Why did you stop?
That's right. Why did I stop? So you just felt like
you'd done what you needed
felt
to
like
do?
I did what I needed to do.
Okay.
I was in high school.
Gotcha.
You know, like I feel like maybe if it was now, it would be a bit different. I may have, pursued it a little bit further, but then I wasn't doing martial arts for a while, and then I watched a whole lot of Cobra Kai, and I was like, oh, I want to do karate.
Right.
And I got into karate, and karate was awesome. Like I made a lot of great friends. My mentor, so my karate instructor, he inspired me a lot. We actually developed a really beautiful relationship, and he's someone that, even though I don't speak to him anymore, even though that chapter is, closed and done now, he will always have a special part in my life.
So you started karate last year.
Last year.
And then you stopped.
And then I stopped.
Why did you stop again?
No. So I did taekwondo first.
Oh yeah, you did taekwondo, but then you started karate.
And then I started karate, I think in March 2022 or Feb 2022. Sorry, not 2023.
But you stopped last year.
Yeah.
Did you stop karate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it felt, and this is kind of coming back to the masculine feminine, it got too disciplined for me.
Too much structure.
Too much structure. I need to be I need flow. I need inconsistency. That's how I routine structure is not, a little bit of it is good, but too much of it, I don't function that way.
I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the start of October.
That's awesome.
I fucking love it.
You love it?
Like it kills me every time, but I have to go twice a week. If I don't go twice a week and I only go once a week, I really, I feel like, one, I don't get the benefits, but two, the aches and pains, funnily enough, the old aches and pains come back.
Yep.
Whereas the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is helping the old aches and pains because it's giving me new aches and pains, but those new aches and pains are somewhere new.
Yep.
And so it's okay.
Yep. Yeah. Totally.
So what I'm trying to explain is I got lower back issues and I got tilted hips.
Yeah.
And so I was really conscious that if I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's going to flare it all up. But it's actually fixed it.
It's fixed it. There you go.
Because you spend a lot of time on your back.
Yeah.
And it's very ambiguous.
Yeah.
In the sense that, yes, you learn techniques, but then when you're sparring, like on an open mat scenario,
Yeah.
like anything goes. And so you're constantly trying to challenge and see, you know, what your partner's doing and all of this. And the community
Yeah.
that Dan Ward has at True Grit in Moorabbin is just amazing, because we're all there to like learn stuff. We don't want to hurt anyone.
Yep.
Like if you go too far, you just call out and all this type of stuff.
Yep.
And like it's just absolutely fantastic.
And it sounds like it's really supportive as well.
Yeah,
like supportive community.
Super supportive.
Yeah.
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 And like
that's awesome.
Look, I'm 6'2" and 95 kilos. And there are guys bigger than me and smaller than me that are caning my ass. Like,
yeah.
How does a 65 kilo guy make himself feel like a 200 kilo man on your chest?
That's amazing.
I'm like, bro, what is going on?
Is it lots of takedowns in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
No.
Is it what kind of martial art is it?
So it's grappling and wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So submission.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically professional man cuddling.
Yeah.
And you're using your body and your limbs to play human chess.
That's cool.
Against the other opponent.
Yeah.
And you will so it's a 90-minute session. The first 60 minutes is warm up and then 3 techniques. And 3 techniques for attacking and 3 techniques for defending in that same scenario.
Wow.
And you practice.
That's so cool.
Right. And then in the last 30 minutes, you'll do 10 minutes of like supposed to go probably like 60 to 70% effort with the same partner that you just had.
Yep.
To then like try to build this real life, you know, kind of scenario. But then the last 20 minutes is like a Shark Tank where there'll be 5 people on the mats. So 5 sparring partners at the one time and everybody lines up.
Yep.
And so there'll be 1 defending and 1 attacking.
Yep.
And then the person who's defending... the person who's attacking then becomes the defender for the next person on the line.
Oh.
And it goes like that.
That's
cool. So then they just join the line. Yeah. But it's Shark Tank could be anything from learning or practicing the technique that you've just learnt or like open mat, like anything.
That's really cool.
And so, so I've been going since the start of October, and last week I flipped a purple belt twice.
Nice.
2 separate purple belts.
Nice.
And I was like, damn.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, is it finally like clicking in?
So it is belt. So you're white belt.
Yeah, I'm white. Yeah.
And you flipped a purple belt.
Yeah.
Nice job. That's really cool.
Yeah. So, but like the community is just so good.
It is, isn't it?
And like,
yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm like, I sweat a lot. I'm like I look like I've been working really hard. I have, but like I sweat so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really sweat that much in karate. I mean, and grading I did. Grading
You
always
should try Brazilian
full
Jiu-Jitsu.
on. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I feel like
it's not as structured as karate.
Yeah,
or taekwondo.
it sounds like it's not.
It's so much more ambiguous because there's so many different options. There's so many different options.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Which would be really good because I mean, I've done 2 martial arts now.
Yeah.
But it's something I'll think about because now I'm after I obviously left karate, I then got into yoga, and yoga is much more feel yoga very deeply yoga. Just yoga hits differently.
Maybe you should do Tai Chi.
Tai Chi. Yeah, I could because Tai Chi's got the mindfulness. Yeah, I could.
I was joking.
Maybe.
Don't do Tai Chi.
Oh.
You can do Tai Chi down at the park with the old Chinese guy any day.
Yeah, I think I prefer to just stick to yoga,
yoga.
stick to breathwork, stick to Reiki.
Do you do hot yoga?
No, not hot yoga.
Oh.
I hate saunas, so I would.
Why?
Yeah, I would, because they're too hot. They're way too hot.
That'll make you sweat.
Yeah, I don't like feeling claustrophobic. I got in a float tank the other day, and
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I did not lie down.
You freaked out.
I freaked the fuck out
What
in
do you
that
mean
float tank.
So you were standing.
No, I was sitting.
You were sitting.
I was sitting, and the lid was like open, so I didn't have it closed. I was just doing breathwork and meditation for like the hour, because it was a beauty salon. I was using a voucher for my 30th that I got, so I had 60 minutes in the float tank. Then I had a massage, then I had a facial, then I had a pedicure. I was there for like 4 hours.
You were trying to like embody your grandmother with the cucumbers on her eyes.
I had one friend say it looks like Darth Vader's coffin. And then I had another friend say it looks like a hell tank. And I was like, actually, it does. And then one of them sent me a photo of what a float tank is meant to look like. It's meant to be like white, and then it's like blue, clear water. I don't know what I was getting into.
Bro, you were just getting into Darth Vader's float tank, okay?
Yeah, literally. That's why I was. But also, I get claustrophobic very easily. I think it's past life related. I reckon I drowned in a past life. Mind you, though, I nearly drowned a couple of times as a kid, so I feel like it's a bit of both.
Who gave you this voucher? Did they not know you were claustrophobic?
Angus's mum.
Why did you go to a float tank thing anyway? Just to try it out?
Yeah, I mean, that was part of it was called Replenish and Rejuvenate. That was the package.
Oh, God.
So I was like, yeah, I'm not lying down in this thing, because I was like, I'm getting Final Destination vibes. If I close this thing, I'm dead. I'm done. Like, I was like, I am fucked if I close this lid. Like, see you later.
Final Destination vibes.
I can't with those movies. Again, and coming back to being highly sensitive and empathetic, I can't do like horror. I can't do those movies, because then they just mess with my mind. Whereas Angus, because he's a videographer, he's in film, he's in media, he loves that shit. He loves it. I'm just like, no thanks.
I need to get him on the podcast.
You do, yes.
That's the shit that I love.
You need to get him on the podcast. Yes, you do.
Shout out to Angus. We'll get you on, buddy.
Yep.
Well, we've been going for over 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
No way.
It's 2 hours and 6 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
How can people get in contact with you, Courtney, for a Reiki or a breathwork session? Don't call her for any of your insurance claims.
But I work in insurance.
Okay. Just Reiki or breathwork, thanks.
Yeah.
Don't put any insurance claims
no.
because of the Reiki or the breathwork.
Yeah, no insurance, guys. Just but just on Instagram.
Yep.
So at courtney.a.lewis. They can follow me on there.
Amazing.
And I've got a little like Calendly link. Otherwise, just send me a DM.
Amazing.
And we'll kickstart your the good shit.
Let me just take a quick selfie. Yeah. Well, thanks, Courtney, for coming along.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Having a chat.
That was epic.
I'm sure there's a lot more we could talk about, but I really want to get Angus on, so have a chat to him.
Yes, I will.
Amazing.
I will.
Thanks, everyone, for listening in. Make sure you hit subscribe, that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. See ya.